quickly, then you move succession backward, and you move it toward ragweed and weeds and all this stuff, all right? But if you give it time for the new higher successional plants to gain a foothold, then you actually have successional improvement, okay, regeneration. I don't know how else to say it. This tight grazing is just magic. It duplicates this disturbance and rest period that herbivore herds in nature that exemplify moving, mowing, and bobbing. That's the way they operate.
At that milking stage, you're not putting on a lot of pounds.
No.
But they are now.
No, now, yeah,
stage.
now of course it's way more productive now than it was back then. But the fact is that biological healing has its own time clock, and you can't shortcut it. You can't shortcut it, and so you have to let that biological time clock work.
And you have to sacrifice some gain in the end.
And you have to sacrifice some gain early on in order to get it to where you want it later. I think too that it's real interesting. You know, I like to make this point because so often in our culture right now, the radical environmental movement thinks that the best thing we can do for the landscape is to eliminate humans and that in its pristine state, nature doesn't go through any disturbance. Well, look what happened in Yellowstone Park after 50 years of a no-cut policy. What happened? Right, huge fires, but it was the buildup of material. Whereas 500 years ago, the Indians and Lightning started fires routinely, and there wasn't enough buildup of dead biomass to accumulate enough to have an inferno. So it was a metered. It was a shorter period of time between the disturbances and then these rest periods. Disturbance is the key for innovation, for natural succession. Disturbance is the key. You know, that's the problem with the bailout plan, is that it is not allowing disturbance to occur, the kind of disturbance that's necessary for the innovative next paradigm to emerge. It's artificially propping up the status quo instead of allowing the disturbance it's unsettling, I understand, but that disturbance that's necessary for the innovation to occur, for the phoenix to rise from ashes. And she is the international guru of low stress cattle handling. 3 principles. One is the cattle want to turn to the right. I don't know, maybe in Australia they want to turn to the left. I don't know. I just thought of that.
It's on roll left handed.
Which way does the water swirl? Back to the water?
Very similar.
All right, they want to turn to the right. They want to go out where they came in, and they want to go toward light, but not into direct sunlight. We have them right here. So we're going to run them in. Okay, we're going to run in here. And they want to go to the right. So they're going to come out this gate up here. They're going to hook to the right. So we're going to open this gate and put them in here. They're going to the right. They're going to the right. And guess what they think about right here? I'm going out where I came in. And I see light. But the head gate is back far enough that direct sunlight can't shine in here. So there's an overhang, see, there's a setback. So they head downhill, they're going out where they came in, heading toward the light. They come right up here, stick their head through, and I've got them. Okay? Most of the time. We were doing the pull the rope and pray method here. And it was pretty rough. And so he had one that was all wood because he didn't weld. So when I duplicated it, of course, it was an easy thing for me to do was just to make it out of metal and weld it up. But it's very simple. The thing I like about it is it's very quiet. Doesn't clang, bang, and all that stuff like these big. And of course, it's very cheap. You know, you can build the whole thing for just a few bucks. And I built all this actually, you know, when I was in late high school, I think. And it served us very well. Dad always, you know, laughs at, I don't think you have enough gates here, son. But I put all these gates on because, you know, you might need to work on a right front foot, left front foot, left front. And so you never have enough gates, you know, in a working area. So, you know, it's all braced up here so that, you know, it can't go downhill. I know it looks like it's going downhill, but it doesn't go downhill. It just sits there. Groove board, this is so old in my life. The only way we got lumber back when I was a teenager was we tore down neighbors' barns. And we scavenged, this is all barn scavenged lumber. See, this is old floorboarding out of an old deck flooring out of an old bank barn. This is old, okay, scavenged lumber. But this shows how cheap and simple something can be built. You don't have to spend $3,000 on a Long Valley tub chute or whatever, okay? It's not necessary. This is very functional. It's a I mean, it works better with 2 or 3 people. You can go faster. But one person can work this real easily, real gently. Just don't get in a hurry. And we castrate in here. We pregnancy check. We, you know, change ear tags. We, you know, do whatever we need to do. But it's very functional. When we're done, what we do is, obviously you want to open this gate first. Okay, so this is open, and then this is shut up here. The whole deal is to have one smooth motion of getting this off, and as they feel that pressure and want to back up, you open this at the same time and then step aside, and so you know they just flow right out. I mean, that's the plan. You never want to open the gate before you release them. Always release them first and then open the gate. In 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, like a scoop, 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 all right? And that is a let me just say right up off the top, that's a very expensive mineral mix. We keep that in front of them, free choice, all they want, all the time. And we probably spend 4 times as much on minerals as most people. But we have very few problems. And so I'm glad to put money in mineral. One of the things that's real important to remember is, remember yesterday when we were doing the chickens, I talked about the enzyme calpains. The reason it's called calpains, it's the tissue relaxant post-mortem, okay? The reason it's called calpains is because the foundation of it is calcium. And so it's important to have plenty of calcium in order to have tender meat. And I'm convinced that most people really shortchange their livestock on minerals. I say that because we have bought animals from lots of different farms over the years. We have yet to buy any, you know, organic, otherwise, whatever, that when they come here, they just, they gorge themselves on minerals for the first week.
Sea salt, and what were the other 2?
Kelp.
Kelp and poultry NutriBalancer from Firtrail. I know poultry NutriBalancer, but it's essentially a food-grade soft rock phosphate with some kelp in it and some vitamin mineral. It's OCIA certified organic, if that means anything to you. Or Redmond salt. Redmond is very available. Any fur trail dealer would also be able to get you Redmond salt. We actually want to do a trial where we put them out cafeteria between Redmond and C90 and see which they choose. Because we've used both. Right now I'm kind of ambivalent as to which is better.